welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me is Jay Huseman. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Thank you, Sharon. Excited to be here. Pre-evening, if you're a Big Bang follower, Sheldon Cooper, the time between afternoon and evening is nicknamed pre-evening by him. So excited to be here, man. We're talking about Martinsville with the Truck Series to start with here tonight, and you can't get much more exciting than that.
No way. So Martinsville is always one of the fan favorite tracks on the schedule, and we are here to do our preview for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for the Boys and Girls Club of Blue Ridge 200. Of the Blue Ridge 200 at Martinsville Speedway. Now, Martinsville is a 0.526 mile asphalt oval, a half-mile oval asphalt. That race will be Friday night, March the 28th, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, TV coverage will be on Fox Sports 1, as it is for all Truck Series races. And radio coverage is on the NASCAR Radio Network, Sirius XM, and that will be Channel 90. They will race a distance of 105.2 miles over 200 laps, and stage 1 will end on lap 50. Stage 2, also 50 laps, will end on lap 100, and then the final stage will be the final 100 laps ending on lap 200. Now, the Craftsman Truck Series practice and Kennemento pole qualifying will be on Fox Sports 2 Friday, and that will be at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Then, of course, we mentioned the race already, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely looking forward to this Craftsman Truck Series race. 2 weeks in a row, we get to watch the Craftsman Truck Series, and there's a lot to cover here as far as our insights and storylines.
Well, and you mentioned it. First off, you watch 2 weeks in a row. They have bigger gaps than any of the other series. But part of it, too, is the history of Martinsville. This weekend is the 49th NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Martinsville Speedway, going from 1995 and its inauguration season all the way now through 2025.
Now, 49 Truck Series races at Martinsville are the second most held at a track in the series, and that's only behind Texas. They have 50 races held. So 49 and 50, they're pretty neck and neck there.
And I would not have put Texas. I know they've run a couple of races a year there a couple times, but I would not have put them as number 1. So that's interesting. Now, we've talked about it in the Xfinity Series with the Dash for Cash. Here in the Truck Series, it's called the Triple Truck Challenge, and that starts at Martinsville. Win 1 race and you win $50,000. 2 races, that gets you $150,000 in the bank. But if you win all 3, you can pocket a $500,000 bonus.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, now this weekend's race is going to be the first of 7 short track races in 2025 for the Craftsman Truck Series. So 7 short tracks on the schedule this year.
Now, Martinsville, along with Phoenix, are the only 2 tracks that the Craftsman Truck Series has raced on in every season since its inception in 1995. Again, I would only known one of those. I would not have put Phoenix as the other one.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, now the last 3 Martinsville races have seen a driver sweep both stages and then go on to win. Corey Heim did that in 2023. It was Christian Eckes for both of the races in 2024. So kind of interesting that we've seen clean stage sweeps and on to win the race.
And there's been 4 drivers to sweep both stages and win at Martinsville, and that's tied with Kansas for the most at any track in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Okay, now Grant Enfinger finished top 10 in the last 9 races, and that's the longest of his career. That's the longest streak. So finished top 10 in 9 races for Grant Enfinger. So that's pretty cool.
I like that stat. I like Grant Enfinger, so we'll see if he can continue that this weekend.
He's a fellow South's driver.
That too. Yeah, coming from can't remember the name of the town, but over there in Alabama. Now Lane Riggs was the final lead change in the last two races. There was 33 laps to go when he lasted at Las Vegas, and then 2 to go at Miami.
Yeah, I think Grant Enfinger is from Fairhope, Alabama.
Yes, he is. That is it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Now, Corey Heim became the youngest driver to reach 13 wins 2 weeks ago out at Las Vegas. So congratulations to Corey Heim.
And we're going to do a Corey Heim streak of our own here, as he has won double the races of any other driver since the start of 2024.
Incredible. He is an incredible racer. Corey Heim has won 6 of the last 8 rain-affected Truck Series races, including the last 4.
And just to give you one more stat on Corey Heim, he's led 129 laps already this season, which is 90 more than any other series regular. Heim is also the only driver to lead in all 4 races this season. Been running up front.
He has indeed. There have been 83 lead changes in the last 4 Craftsman Truck Series races. That's the most through 4 races in series history. That's a pretty incredible stat right there.
That is indeed. I hadn't really thought about that one, but it's great to see. We love the competition.
Yes, indeed.
Now, the last 18 races ended at the scheduled distance. That's the second longest streak without overtime. The record is 20 races. Martinsville might be one where that breaks that record, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Now, 3 of the 4 drivers in the championship 4 round for last year are top 4 in points this year. Only one missing is Christian Eckes, who moved up to the Xfinity Series. So that's a pretty neat stat to see as well. I like that 3 of our top 4 championship 4 drivers running in the top 4 in points.
And I knew it was looking the same. I did not realize the one missing of Christian Eckes, who's missing because he's not in it. But it'd be interesting to see if he were still.
Yes.
Now, Spire Motorsports and Tricon Garage, between the 2 of them, have won all 4 of the Truck Series races in 2025. We mentioned this in a stat earlier. It's not necessarily Truck Series regular drivers, as we have had Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch coming down and running in some of them. So, but they're with either Spire Motorsports or Tricon Garage.
Yes, indeed. Now, there's 7 different stage winners in the first 4 Truck Series races this year. That's the most ever. So, boy, they're really doing some cool things here in the Truck Series this year.
And again, that competition, and it goes to the polls too, as 4 teams have won the poll in the first 4 races of 2025. The first time this has happened since 2015.
Now, this is Stuart Friesen's best start of the season since the 22 season. So congratulations to Stuart Friesen.
I knew he was having himself a good start for the 2025 season. Unfortunately, though, overall, Ford, and this is in the Truck Series, I've talked about it at the Cup level, Ford has only one win, has only 1 win in the last 15 Martinsville races. And it did go, though, to Grant Enfinger back in 2020.
Okay. And then Martinsville qualifying track record was set in this race last season, and that was at 97.523 miles per hour. But they don't tell us who set that record.
Speaking of odd things and it being left out, you're right. It does not identify who that was, just gives us the time.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual.
All right. Well, let's see. I know we kind of talked about the points. I was looking to see.
Well, let's talk about a couple of the drivers that are going to be in the Truck Series.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to look before we went to the points here. Yeah, here for the Truck Series. There's a total of 35 drivers or teams for the 36 spots. All entries are going to make the race then. Some addable notes, and we'll get into some bios on a couple of them, is what Sharon was getting to. But the number 1 is going to be Lawless Allen. The number 2 is to be announced yet. The 07, which is a Spire Motorsports machine, will have William Byron this week, and then Corey Day in the number 7. The number 22 will be Alan Waller, Matt Gould in the number 44, Luke Baldwin in the number 66. That's one of the ones we're going to talk about. And, Ryan Roulette. I was kind of excited to see this one. Ryan Roulette in that number 67. And then number 84, Patrick Starpoli. And we'll talk to him on Monday night. That'll be cool. We'll get to talk to him after
the race. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about, you want to talk about Luke Baldwin?
All right. And yeah, I got to hear an interview with him on Sirius XM today about how this kind of came about. So he is running 3 races for Core Sport Racing in 2025. If you don't know who he is by the name, it's a son of former Cup Series crew chief and car owner Tommy Baldwin Jr. So that's how he ties in. He does have 4 starts in the Whelen Modified Tour with 3 top 10s, including a 7th place at Martinsville. And he's the 2024 Smart Modified Tour winner. And it doesn't show his age here, but I know that was part of the interview of trying to get some starts in now because he got kind of a late start in racing is what they were talking about. And I didn't catch his age there, and it's not listed here. But kind of a late start into the racing, but that doesn't matter. And I'll tell you what, from what we've seen of, take Lane Riggs, for example, this next generation, we got some good drivers coming up.
We do indeed. Now, the next driver, we're going to talk about Patrick Starpoli here in a minute, but I want to tell you, we are going to give you some details with regard to the Triple Truck Challenge as well, in case you're not familiar with that program. But talking about Patrick Starpoli, he has already made 1 Truck Series start, and that was at Homestead, Miami in 2016. He finished 31st. He's also attempting to make an Xfinity Series debut this weekend, in addition to that 2nd Truck Series start. So it's very cool that we're going to see him in 2 races this weekend. Making first Martinsville Speedway start in any series. So first time he's raced at Martinsville, but let me tell you, Patrick knows how to race the short tracks. He finished 8th in the ARCA Menard Series race at Phoenix Raceway back on March the 25th. And he's also, in addition to being a race car driver, one thing we love about Patrick Starpoli is he's a board-certified medical and surgical retina specialist who practices for Retina Consultants of Texas out of Houston. So Dr. Starpoli, again, will be with us on Monday night. We are going to do an interview with him, and we'll probably put that out. If not Monday night, then we will definitely get it out by Tuesday. So watch for that interview with Patrick Starpoli. I know seems like we've been talking about it forever.
Well, and again, we got all the news and information out now. Like I said, it'll be kind of cool. I'm hoping, being that it'll be post-race there. You mentioned it does have a short track history, but Martinsville kind of a beast of its own that we don't always see good debuts at. So it could be a little bit of a rough weekend that he has to talk about. We'll have to wait and see, but wish him the best of luck.
Definitely.
Now, Sharon talked about that Triple Truck Challenge, and I'll do a rundown here for those that aren't familiar and break down how it's going to look this year. The 2025 Triple Truck Challenge features 3 races. It'll be Martinsville this weekend, Bristol on April 11th, and Rockingham on April 18th. Now, all Truck Series drivers are eligible. However, the Triple Truck Challenge will not be open to the NASCAR Xfinity Series or Cup Series regulars who participate in the series. The highest finishing full-time Craftsman Truck Series driver of the race will receive the $50,000 bonus. If the driver wins the Triple Truck Challenge in 2 of 3 events, they're awarded that $150,000. And if they are able to win all 3 of the designated events, they win $500,000 in total prize money. Now, since its inception into the Craftsman Truck Series in 2019, the Triple Truck Challenge has awarded $950,000 in bonus money. To the best of my knowledge here, and we'll look at the breakdown of previous winners, I don't think anybody has taken the $500,000 in one year. You want to go over the
Okay.
former triple winners?
I can do that.
All right.
Okay. In 2019, at Texas, Greg Biffle won 50,000. At Iowa, it was Brett Moffitt. And at Gateway, it was Ross Chastain. So 3 Triple Truck Challenge races and 3 different winners. Same thing for 2020. Oh, wait a second. No, it's not the same thing for 2020. Sheldon Creed actually got $150,000. He won at the Daytona Road Course, and again, he at Gateway. And then it was Zane Smith picking up a $50,000 bonus at Dover. In 21, there were 3 different winners. Sheldon Creed, again, $50K. Todd, and that was at Darlington. Todd Gilliland picked up the $50K at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. And it was John Hunter Nemechek picking up that bonus at Charlotte. And again, that was in 2021. In 2022, the winners were, and it's 3 different drivers, Corey Heim at Gateway, Ryan Preece at Nashville, and Parker Kligerman won on the road course at the Mid-Ohio course. All 3 of them got the $50,000 bonus. Again, in 23, 3 different winners. It was Ben Rhodes at Charlotte, Grant Dinfinger at Gateway, and Carson Hocevar at Nashville. And in 2024, just last year, we had 3 different drivers again. Nick Sanchez at Charlotte, Corey Heim at Gateway, and Christian Eckes at Nashville. So the only time we've had a repeat winner was in that 2020 season when Sheldon Creed won 2.
And you pointed that out, and I'll build on that. Sheldon Creed has won it 3 times
Yes.
overall. Corey Heim has only won it twice. That was kind of shocking that we only saw Corey Heim's name on there twice when it comes to that. Now, Corey does have that option to add to his this weekend, whereas Sheldon Creed is not in the Truck Series anymore, so he could build upon that. A couple others, Nick Sanchez, Ben Rhodes, Grant Finger. Love to see Grant get some more money and continue his career there, but see who gets to add their name to that as well as their pocketbook this weekend.
Yes, indeed. Now, I saw some other notes here with regard to the Truck Series race, and I wanted to bring it up because there is, on Friday night, in 499 previous races, Toyota drivers have claimed 236 combined victories, led by Kyle Busch with 56, Todd Bodine with 22, and Johnny Benson with 14. So I thought that was an interesting stat. Another note here, the prolific winning record, which began with Travis Kavappel's victory. Travis Kavappel, of course, is the father of Carson Kavappel, who's been racing. So that victory was at Michigan, July 31st of 2004, and has led to 9 drivers' championships and 13 manufacturer titles. So this is all about Toyota and their record of wins. Driving the flagship Tundra for Toyota on Friday, of course, is going to be Corey Heim from Tricon Garage, who has contributed 13 victories to the manufacturer's total since his series debut in 2021. And that's pretty amazing when you think about it. Heim has 2 wins and 4 starts this season and leads the series standings by 8 points over the reigning champion, Ty Majeski. Heim won at Martinsville in 2023. We did document that, but he's also posted 3 top 10s in 4 starts there. Now, Grant Infinger, let's not discount him, Jay. Grant Infinger, a Chevrolet driver, may be a strong candidate to spoil the Toyota party this weekend. Infinger comes to Martinsville with a career best streak of those 9 straight top 10 finishes dating to last season. In addition, Cup Series regular, we mentioned William Byron's going to be in the race, driving that 07 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet. He could spoil the Toyota party. And Byron gave Spire their first win in the series at Martinsville in 2022. And so that was just some interesting stats, I thought, as it relates to Toyota and how Chevrolet could break up that Toyota party this weekend.
There was a lot of good information there that covered Toyota having the most wins from when they came in. I mean, they came in with some authority. You mentioned Kyle Busch and KBM Motorsports, and that's now Spire Motorsports, but they changed from Toyota to Chevy. But then you bring in Corey Heim, who's running with Tricon, and you saw the stats on what he's done in just the few years he's been in as the youngest to achieve 13 victories. So they still got a solid field for the manufacturer, but you mentioned some of them, Spire Motorsports, which is essentially still KBM. They just switched over to the Chevy, and they got William Byron. So yeah, that's a tough call. And unfortunately, when you're talking about the Fords, then it's not looking good for them. But don't, like you said, don't count out Grant Enfinger.
Absolutely. And it's just additional information. I like to give fans things to look for during the race and watch for during the race. In addition to the drivers to watch, if you're a manufacturer fan, which manufacturer has the dominance at that track and so forth. So I thought there were some good stats in there.
And at this point, unfortunately for me, all of Dodge's stats are history. However, that may change because, again, we got hot topics coming on Monday. Maybe we'll throw that one back in the bucket again.
Again. Yeah, we'll have to put our list together of hot topics. Okay, I was just putting this up to say we are doing that preview for the NASCAR Truck Series. Right after this, Jay and I are going to put together the preview for the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. All three series are racing at Martinsville this weekend, and we'll give you the details there as well. Now, I'm going to put the Truck Series out tonight. The other two series we'll probably put out sometime during the day on Friday. So just a heads up on that. But we're going to go ahead and record all of that tonight. But do watch for our Hot Topic Sound Off on Monday night, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And there's three of us now as regulars on our Hot Topic Sound Off, including myself, Fan for Racing Sharon, Jay Huseman, the big mouth of the Mid-South. And then we also have Chris Crichton. And what's his moniker, Jay?
The dirtiest voice in the South, the yellow caution flag, Chris Crichton.
There you go. And Chris is a great addition because Jay and I tend to agree on a lot of things. Chris comes in and he has a little bit different way of looking at things, which is okay. We like that. We can still depart as friends and we do it in a friendly way, even though we might see things a little bit differently on occasion. So it's kind of nice to have a different perspective.
It is, and that's great. And, it is kind of weird even with that, of seeing the banners and everything at the same time. You and I do have a tendency to a lot of times be thinking alike. So it is great to have that mix up of, and again, if you watched last Monday's night, there were definitely some things I disagreed with Chris on. But again, I call him a friend. He's a fellow announcer down here in Mississippi. Got some racing going on this weekend. But we just have different viewpoints, and that's all good.
Mm-hmm. When he was the flag of caution or whatever, the yellow flag, he used to come on our radio show when we were over at Blog Talk Radio. And sometimes it was totally unannounced. He'd just call up and I'd bring him into the queue. And it was because he had something he had wanted to comment on. So I thought it was really great. When we invited him to be on our show here on YouTube, he accepted right away, and I'm real happy about that. So he's a regular now on our Hot Topic Sound Off. We also mentioned that we'll be doing the interview with Patrick Starapoli after his racing in both the the Craftsman Truck Series and the Xfinity Series this weekend in Martinsville. We'll have a chance to kind of talk to him about that. And he has some other races coming up on the schedule in both series, as well as the ARCA Menard Series with Venturini Motorsports. So looking forward to talking to Patrick Staropoli, another old friend of Fan for Racing Radio.
And I can say this just from what little Sharon, you know what I do, but knowing his personality and this opportunity he has, honestly, even if he does a bad race or so at Martinsville, he's still going to be in a good mood and want to talk about it because he is very blessed and appreciative of the opportunity. So I don't fear it being a bad interview or him being upset. He may have some issues again of that, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, he is a short track racer by nature, if you will. So I think he's going to be all right.
I think so as well. But we also want to say thank you for watching. We always appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a lot of fun doing these shows, and we hope you enjoy the information that we provide for you and enjoy the show as much as we enjoy doing it. So with that, I think we're ready to move on to the next video, Jay.
All right. Well, we'll talk there then about.
Okay, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.
All right.